created to be made.
What's up, y'all? Welcome back. This is just a reminder that while we might get into some tea, some drama, this is not a tea channel. We're focused on real stories and real commentary. Now, let's get into this video.
We started the episode on the first of which stated that after 6 seasons of the show, Joseline abruptly stopped loving hip-hop Atlanta due to a falling out with the creator, Mona Scott Young. She then decided to move on to other endeavors, breaking free from Stevie J as much as possible, making more music, and forming relationships with other media networks, most notably WeTV. Less than a year after leaving Love and Hip Hop, Joseline had already signed off to start production for her own reality docuseries, Joseline Take Miami with WeTV, as well as a few more appearances on the network. However, in 2019, WeTV decided to halt the production of Joseline Take Miami. For unknown reasons, Joseline travels to Miami and asks his production team to reshoot certain scenes. Later that year, Joseline receives an offer from Zeus Network to produce her own shows, which she gladly accepts. The difference between Zeus Network and WeTV is that content that isn't allowed on WeTV will almost certainly air on Zeus Network. At this point, Joseline also makes a temporary peace with the producers of Love and Hip Hop Miami, agreeing to join the cast of Love and Hip Hop Miami, and completing a season of Marital Boot Camp on WeTV meant that she was watching television after all hours. Significant interviews and engagements with 3 distinct series and 2 networks, Joseline was expected to have what was likely her greatest year on television. In the beginning, Joseline's dream was to open her own cabaret and provide women who were similar to her with a means of empowering themselves and a chance to move from rough and tumble clubs into a more refined setting where they could choose how much skin they wanted to show and, rather than porking off the walls, could be a part of an elite group. This was the inspiration behind Joseline Takes Miami, which was reproposed as Dawson's Cabaret and broadcast on both WeTV and Zeus Network. True show and become a cabaret girl. Jan, you recall when I displayed this picture while discussing Shanika-gate. It's a still shot from a reality show pilot that Joseline was supposed to participate in back in 2007. Joseline danced at a Miami club called Diamond's Cabaret, and you guessed it, the club was rumored to have its own reality show about the dancers. Does that sound familiar? Since season 1 of Joseline's Cabaret wasn't thought to be all that good, it was harshly criticized when it debuted in 2020. To be honest, I didn't see season 1, but from what I did see, it wasn't all that different from season 2 and season 3. However, season 2 is what truly placed. The second season of this program was the finest since there was a good introduction and we learned a little bit about each of the girls we had. There was also a scenario that will go down in reality TV history: double homicide, as well as possibly Johnson's most viral catchy song. Moments of kumbaya wisdom that go viral might obscure the true plot development. There was a dance-off, and each girl had a goal to win $10,000 in addition to being accepted into the cabaret. What surprised me, though, was that Joseline seemed to be being Joseline. Sure, she occasionally went overboard, but this was the first time I had seen Joseline on television with a more subdued energy. In my opinion, this is more like Jackson when she doesn't have to argue with or about her man all the time. Let's be honest, season 3 was a hot, messy mess from the start. From the unnerving calling of Jesus to the disrespect of the lighting in the London confessionals and Paris military lineups for American Idols in Tokyo, I don't even know where to begin. But I do know that this Joseline was not the same Joseline I saw in season 2. This Joseline was not the same Joseline Stevenson. Body slams large booties, little booties pop strolling, dropping, and all of this in the first 2 or 3 episodes. Stated they had developed and grown after having Bonnie Bella. The Joseline that was in those interviews supporting women's empowerment is not the same Joseline that was here. Rather than being a mentor, Joseline was a bully and what many consider to be a pimp.
I ran my own organization, but I've had a lot of girls work up under me before I had the cabaret. I kind of taught them the same thing that I'm teaching the girls now at the cabaret. Mm-hmm. They're calling me a bitch since I've got the cabaret.
Okay.
They're like, Joseline, is you and I'm like, no, I'm helping. So I think that
like a bitch, Joseline.
It's possible that after watching some of the episodes in the social media aftermath, Joseline felt as though she had allowed the women to push her. My theory is that Joseline confuses fear with respect. On season 2, and maybe even season 1, many of these women were self-starting with their own minds and spoke to Joseline as another grown woman rather than their master. Some viewers did not feel sympathy for the women in season 3 because they believed they should know what they're getting into by now. I agree, but to some extent Johnson really wasn't this harsh on season 2. But I get it, this is Joseline after all. Thus coming to seek vengeance on the reunion and redeeming herself immediately on season 3, disputed that the cast had signed a contract prohibiting them from touching Joseline. So I started to wonder why in the world they would have allowed her to speak with them and treat them the way she did. Then it dawned on me that this was all a lie.
Allow no slander to Joseline, though. That's what we can't do. So
it's how she talks to y'all. Because at the end of the day, if she's here to give y'all an opportunity and she wants y'all to respect her, it's a back and forth respecting.
Y'all never had a boss or a manager or whatever that talk crazy? Like, for real? Like, it's not that deep.
And it's for TV, so you got to understand when someone is treating you good, when the camera's not rolling and everything is good and she's taking care of you, giving you money to take care of you. Know, honestly, like taking care of you off camera, everything's good. So it's just like, it's different, it's just, that's what everybody just needs to appreciate, good entertainment, no matter how wild it may seem.
Kind of scripted everybody to fight, like they wanted to, just get views, really. I was just like, this is too Hollywood. If people want to fight, they're going to fight naturally.
So she done told you to fight that girl.
If Joseph did not tell me to fight that girl, I would have never laid my motherfucking hands on that girl.
I knew it was fake. I'm not only acting in the show, I'm producing, I'm writing storylines, I'm teaching the girls how to be the best reality superstars they could be by giving them direction on how to do it, using their own personalities, their own way of being.
Please understand me, all of it is fake, but the ladies weren't really coming at Joseline because they understood that she would be two different people when she was on camera and off camera, and even though some of Joseline's reactions to certain situations were real, some of the situations themselves were set up. This would explain why Joseline tried to force Joseline to say that she's not as pretty as Beyonce, even though Joseline isn't the kind of person to let someone talk to her like that. At this point, I have to hold the cast members responsible because even though they weren't aware of how they would be edited, the presentation, regardless of what parts of the show were real and what portions were fake, treating these women this way just was unethical and hypocritical to whatever empowerment Jackson claimed to be trying to instill in these women. In fact, Joseline had been hypocritical from the beginning. How are you going to describe Kate Capri as manly looking? If a person is acting one way on camera and one way off camera, you should have some kind of idea. As grown women, they agreed that being humiliated on camera was worth being on the show. Playing the Cabaret, taking advantage of this opportunity, and being Johnson's friend behind the scenes. Johnston J., when you needed to prove you were a woman by posting pictures of yourself in the nude online, more importantly, how could you stand by and let a white woman and a non-black Latina freely use the N-word in the same year that you, a black Puerto Rican woman, called yourself standing up for women, specifically black women, on the Wendy Williams show? 10 years ago, how were you going to allow one of your contestants to be discussed for an abortion when you had become pregnant by a man you hadn't known for more than a year and had your abortion procedure broadcast on national television?
Latinas and black women sit on her couch. She's always going for annihilation, but you don't give me my props.
It's hurting my head to try to reason it all out. Another thing that bothers me a lot is that two of the cast members were bullied without any justification at all. I understand that one of them was annoying because she didn't stand up for herself and was thought to be a little flip-floppy, and the other was irritating because, but is that really a justification for starting an unprovoked fight? Wet is a mother of 2, and one of her children has special needs. Before the show, she was homeless for 2 years, but she had just recently found a home, public housing, but still a home, that was during the global health crisis. She was able to make a significant profit by investing in Dogecoin, which gave her the money she needed to pay for Paris and London, something she had been wanting for years. Now that she knows this, it makes a lot of sense as to why she won't stop talking about the twins she has sitting on her chest and why she is so loud and excited about them. She was also able to participate in a show with Joseline, stay in the house, and possibly even be in the Cabaret, even though she knew she couldn't dance. It was a once-in-a-lifetime opportunity for a Wet, but from the moment she appeared, she was teased. Even after Amber allegedly beat her up, Wet continued to sit on the sidelines, clapping and congratulating Amber on making it into the Cabaret. However, she was later allegedly beaten up again for not being a hater and because the losing girls simply hated their current lives at the time. Let's just run up on wet weight if we're talking about uplifting women. Despite the fact that she was one of the smallest girls in the house, she was thought to have been an easy target. How is it appropriate to touch a girl when she is congratulating someone else or just content to be there? Meeting that criterion, stop allowing bullying to occur on your show. But the truth is that she won't do that because production told Kay, Capri, and Amber to pick on Wet. Channel's situation was completely different, and this was likely the most misinterpreted and manipulated plotline of the series. I think most of the cast members are misinterpreted to some extent, but none were mistreated as much as Channel. Therefore, on Season 2, Channel entered the Cabaret. What many people don't know about Channel is that she is a self-described hippie, and this was a crucial aspect in understanding Channel's personality at first. Channel seemed unsure of how she wanted to approach appearing on the show. She also appeared a little messy when it came to Blueface, Barbie versus Lucky, but she soon got used to being Channel. In the end, it was Channel who emerged as the underdog, not only winning a spot in the Cabaret, but also taking home the $10,000 grand prize and a guarantee of a spot on the Vegas Cabaret. When Johnson announced Channel as the winner, she didn't hold back from criticizing.
I gave her the $10,000 because she was a quiet little mouse and a follower. She had a big belly when she came to me, and she was a drunk. Through sisterhood, through therapy, she practiced daily, and she was the underdog. And everybody thought she was just a big belly drunk bitch. Gave her a chance. But when Ashley brought it to my attention 2 days ago, Ashley said to me, "Did you look at Chanel?" I said, "Hell no, I ain't look at that hoe." And you know what Ashley told me? "You need to look at her." And I've been looking at you for the past 3 days. And you are so worth the $10,000.
While it is true that maintaining physical fitness is necessary for this line of work, Joseline already informed Channel, the audience, and all the other girls that she didn't like her stomach. So why did the show have to reveal this during her moment of triumph? Having a lone winner in either of the first 2 or 3rd seasons, making Channel the only female to win a major prize in the Cabaret throughout all 3, and this is how Joseline decided to present it. Lexi Blow and Channel were both asked to return for Season 3, but they had no idea that they were. During the production setup, it appeared as though Channel and Johnson were returning to support and serve as Johnson's left and right sides. Channel had already won the Cabaret and was assured a permanent place for the season, but did the other cast members even manage to catch on? That memo, or did they simply not give a damn? New cast members believed that Channel and Lexi Blonde were friends, and when Chanel refused to say whether or not Blonde was making jokes about the new females, it appeared as though Channel was acting insensitively. Lexi under the bus, and that's what I initially believed too. However, after doing some additional research, I realized that perhaps Channel wasn't the only person who observed that Lexi was being abused. It's also possible that Channel was an undercover hater. Thank you for watching and following along. I'll see you in episode 2.5. Unfortunately, due to time constraints, I'll have to cut this video in half. However, there's positive news. The next segment of this episode will air in 1 or 2 days. In the meantime, keep an eye on The Real on reality TV, as I still need to prove my case regarding Lexi Blow and Channel. We haven't even discussed Amber and Kay Capri Ballistic's $25 million lawsuit.